Which came first, the chicken or the egg? By far one of the most asked questions in history, and on the surface, it sounds simple, almost childish, like something you'd argue about at lunch and forget by dinner. But nobody actually forgets it, because nobody actually answers it. So let's try. Logically, you'd say the chicken came first. It laid the egg. That makes sense. That's how we understand the world. Something exists, it produces something else, and the something else continues the cycle. But then you ask the next question. How did the chicken come about? And that's where it gets complicated. The evolutionary answer, the one scientists largely agree on, is that the egg came first. A bird that was almost a chicken, but not quite yet, mated with another almost chicken. The egg they produced carried a genetic mutation, and what hatched from that egg was the first true chicken. So the sequence looks like this. Pre-chicken plus pre-chicken equals egg equals first chicken.
But wait,
Except you'd argue, and you wouldn't be wrong, that a pre-chicken is still a chicken. It had the genetic composition. It behaved like a chicken. It looked like a chicken. The only thing separating it from a chicken is a label we gave it after the fact. So if the thing that laid the egg was already basically a chicken, haven't we just moved the question back one step? Which came first, the pre-chicken or the pre-egg? You see the problem. Every answer just opens a door to another question. And behind that door is another door. And this goes back so far that at some point, you're not talking about chickens anymore. You're talking about the beginning of things, about origin, about how anything starts when everything seems to require something before it. And that's where it stops being about chickens. Because we do this with everything. For example, the first man and the first woman. One story says man came first. Woman was made from him, from his rib, his bone, his body. So without the man, there's no woman. Origin settled. But then, without the woman, there's no continuation, no life carried, no child formed. Babies don't come from men. They're grown, carried, and delivered by women. So in the most literal biological sense, life as we know it passes through her. So who came first, really? The one who started it, or the one without whom it couldn't continue? Maybe the question was never about order. Maybe it's about dependency, about the uncomfortable truth that origin and continuation are not the same thing, that the thing that started something and the thing that keeps it going are often two completely different things. And we argue about which one matters more because admitting they're both essential means admitting neither one is the whole story. The chicken needs the egg to exist. The egg needs the chicken to exist. Even the first man, at the very beginning, was not enough on his own. And every man after him needed a woman. And every woman after her needed a man. And at some point, the origin becomes irrelevant because the dependency is total. So which came first? Maybe the better question is, why does it matter? What changes if the egg came first? What changes if the chicken did?
What are you trying to settle when you ask that question?
Because most of the time, when people argue about what came first, they're not really arguing about chickens. They're arguing about what deserves credit, about what gets to be called the beginning, about who or what gets to own the origin story. And origin stories are powerful. They decide how we see everything that follows. But maybe nothing actually starts where we think it does. Maybe every beginning has a before, and every before has another before. And if you follow it back far enough, you stop finding answers and start finding the same question wearing a different face. Which came first? Nobody knows. Nobody can know. We just pick the answer that makes the most sense from where we're standing and call it settled. Who is asking?